Hi everyone, I'm Celisa Berg, and I would like to start off by saying that this class was a real eye-opener. It made me realize what I was passionate about and what I want to accomplish in my future. I had to do a lot of self-reflecting throughout this class. Each week I sat here critically thought about each lesson and how I was going to incorporate it in my everyday life and in my future with teaching. I feel like the older I've gotten, the less interested in things I have become. I realize that spending time with my family and focusing on school and my career are my main goals. My world revolves around my family. I have a 2-year-old little girl who's a little spitfire who keeps me on my toes. I want her to be as active as I was and have the same opportunity as I did growing up. That way she can live life to the fullest. Throughout everything life has dealt me, going back to school is one of the most fulfilling moments in life. I know that having an interest in school isn't important to a lot of people, but I'm a student who truly enjoys school. Many people have told me that my career should be a professional student, since I'm always going back to school and trying to learn something new and exciting. It's definitely hard at times, and trying to make time for homework and everything else is difficult. But I know that when I get my great grades at the end of the semester, it's worth all the stress. I have always set goals for myself, and 99% of the time, I follow through with whatever the goal might be. One of my biggest goals nowadays is finishing up my courses towards my bachelor's degree in educational studies through Arizona State. With this degree, I plan on enrolling in a credential program and becoming an elementary school teacher. After that, eventually, I plan on getting my master's degree in education. I would ideally like to teach 4th or 5th grade, but anything kindergarten through 6th will be great. I love being around children every day. They are always so positive and eager to learn. I'm very passionate about learning, and becoming a teacher is hopefully something I can share my passion with my students. Learning new ideas and information is how people grow. There is so much to life that people don't get to experience, but with passion and eagerness to learn, anything is achievable. Looking back over what we have learned in class, I found out a lot about myself. In lesson 2, we had to take a couple assessments. In the Jung typology test, it showed me to be an ISTJ, which is an introvert, sensing, thinking, and judging. The first 3 I was somewhat aware of, but when I saw the judging factor, it was a little eye-opening. I now know my areas where I need improvement to help me become a well-rounded individual and teacher. We also completed the VIA survey of character strengths, which I was thoroughly pleased to see that my top strengths were honesty, open-mindedness, humor, to love and to be loved, and gratitude. These are all strengths that I pride myself on. When we were going through lesson 3 and talked about biases, I learned that even subconscious biases happen every day in classrooms across the world. In the society that we live in, it's very hard not to have a bias towards one student or another. Some students learn quicker than others, and as a future teacher, I'm ready for the challenge to make sure that every student has an equal opportunity to learn the material the best way for them. I plan not to have favorites, and I want every student to feel like they are equal with each other. I really enjoyed when we had to put together our professional development plan. When I had to sit down and write down everything I wanted to accomplish professionally, I was so enthused because I like seeing my goals actually written out. That way I can always reference back to them and see what I need to correct if certain goals weren't being met. Being able to write down what certain deal makers and breakers were when I do get placed in a school was something I never really thought about because it was never really been brought up. Overall, this class was amazing. I'm so happy that the course material was so relatable and that I was able to see what my goals are for my future. I plan on using all the information I learned in my classroom to help mold our future students and to be well-rounded and intelligent individuals.